just a quick disclaimer before you guys start listening to our podcast. I want to let you guys know that we are not the top 1% charismatic men on earth. There's definitely more charismatic people that you could listen to, but for us, I feel like it could be most applicable for you as us young teenagers, young high schoolers, and whatever we could do, you could definitely do as well.
Yeah, okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to become charismatic, and we're going to be talking about three main things in this podcast. We're going to be talking about ways to become charismatic, the psychology behind how you can become charismatic, and some ways that we've become charismatic ourselves.
To give you guys a brief intro of ourselves, me and Cam are starting the Optimize Club at our local high school. And we're all about self-improvement, optimization, leadership, and more habits that you can implement to your routine, into your life to build a better life for yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Cam. Um, Me and Jupe are here on the Optimize podcast. We're just trying to basically spread what we've been teaching at our schools to the internet. And I would say we're both pretty charismatic ourselves. Jupe, how charismatic are you?
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, 20. Nah, I'm joking. Okay. I like to say that I'm a pretty okay. It seems a little corny saying this, right? But I've gotten from other people that I could grab their attention, that I could talk to people well, that I'm social, and also that I'm charismatic. So it's definitely a personality trait that I get that a lot, and I'm sure Cam has got that a lot too. I mean, knowing him personally, you could believe me. Cam is one of the most charismatic guys I've met. Cam, what do you think about that?
Appreciate that. I wouldn't say that I get that, dude. You're so charismatic as you,
You're
but
so charismatic.
I would say that I'm a charismatic guy.
Charismatic. I
Okay.
just
Anyway, so Juan, what would you say? How would you define charisma?
for me, Cam, it's pretty hard to define what charisma is. So I try to think of an example. I try to think of an example of a charismatic man. Whoever you could think of, right? They're just brief characteristics that they give out. So, for example, when I'm talking to a guy, I see their eye contact is on point. That's the first thing, right? It's calm, but it's aggressive. I could see something in his eyes that tells me to pay attention to whatever he's talking to. And the way he speaks, it's slow and steady, and it's projective. He's projecting his voice, not like the people who are quiet, not like the people who are scrunched up, which brings me to the last one is how the person is standing. You know, their posture, their chest out. That tells me that the person is charismatic. There's like probably hundreds more traits of being charismatic, but those are the brief ones. Those are the first ones that I spot on a person of the outer charisma. A little spoiler on that one. Yeah, those are just the basic ones that I can think of. But to really define what charisma means, I would define it as the ability to attract attention and to influence other people. Just a short summary of my part. And let me ask you now, how would you define charisma as, Cam?
You said it great. The ability to attract attention and influence others. I think of charisma as not necessarily influence part, but more of the ability to attract people and keep them attracted to you. And like you said, I was thinking of charisma as just like as being a leader, as being funny and just being social. But I've learned over time that charisma can be broken down to like two types of relationships. You can have strangers, you can have charisma with strangers, right? I can be outgoing and extroverted and stuff, but there's also charisma in like deeper relationships, right? So I guess we're going to be going that into that more, which is how charisma is so beneficial to attract strangers to you, but it can also be beneficial to keep people in your life, and especially the people that you want in your life, like high value people. But I know that first we have to start with like actually building charisma. Let's say you have someone that isn't charismatic right now, but wants to build charisma so that they can attract people in their life and keep people they want in their life. How are you able to build charisma, Juwan?
For me, I really didn't really focus on building charisma. That was not my main goal. I didn't live to build charisma. I think charisma for me was sort of what I achieved throughout the process. Okay. But let me just tell you like a brief story of before I started this journey of optimization, of self improvement, of getting on my shit. I'll describe myself in two words. I was down bad. I mean, quite literally, I already told Cam about this, but I used to be on my screen for 14 hours at a time. That was during lockdown, which was crazy. 14 hours is more than I slept, and 14 hours is more than half of the day that I spent. I also play video games. Crazy. Like at least 10 hours of those 14 hours. And I had zero confidence around girls. And the only confidence I would get is being on Snapchat and freaking using filters like an idiot. And other things were like my posture was terrible. I wasn't projecting my voice. My public speaking was down below. Basically every bad you could think of, right? But then I stumbled upon self improvement like you did, Cam. I started reading books about self improvement. I started watching videos on these stuff, on how to be more confident, how to be more charismatic. And sometimes I'll click on the videos like 5 simple steps to become charismatic. But at the end, like they're not really gonna make a big crazy change. But what really skyrocketed my confidence and my charisma for me, I would say, this is my personal perspective. It's when I really started to learn social skills and public speaking skills. I don't think there's any other way to become more charismatic than learning public speaking skills or social skills. Because, like you said, at the end point, it's about attracting attention, right? And holding that attention. So it's really about when you the time you're talking to somebody or time when you're spending the time with somebody, you're able to talk to them in a way that attracts your attention and that they could think of you as a social, funny leader who is who is good to be around with, who needs your attention. And specifically reading the book, I know you read the book 100%, the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. I would apply the steps that the author Dale Carnegie would tell in the book. I would apply them, and I would do it like I was playing a video game. Like each day, I read a chapter, and at the end, it tells you a simple actionable step for you. Like for example, one lesson was being genuinely interested in other people. So, one of my friends, I forced myself to become genuinely interested. So I'll ask him questions about what he likes. I would ask him about his day. I would ask him if he wanted to spend time. And I would also cold approach to girls. I would talk to adults. I would try to focus on my eye contact. I would do uncomfortable habits that I now think is weird, but it was worth it because at the end, it was able to build my charisma, my confidence, and basically how I became sort of like an influencer.
Wow. You say you became sort of an influencer. Do you see that people are more easily influenced by the things that you say in your life now that you're charismatic?
Personally, 100%. You can notice small differences. I know you do. For example, I took a speech class in high school. Um, and even that was when I was on my shit, when I was focused. So that was when I improved my confidence, improved my charisma. And I remember a time back in middle school where I was not in that process. It was literally like a book presentation for like 3 minutes, which is the easiest thing you could do. It was definitely like a 300, but I was literally sweating the hell out. Like I was in the bathroom. I wanted to go home. I was pissing my pants. And when I did the presentation, I was literally like shaking my hands, and I could tell that I was getting nobody's attention. But it was different now, where I was in the speech class. I make the intro, I hook their attention, talk about my story, whatever the topic is. I give them a conclusion, maybe an actionable step, and I'll notice the difference immediately, right? Or not immediately. Okay, sorry, wrong word right there. Took time, but I noticed people's attention was definitely on point, and even some people told me, "Damn, bro, that was one of the best speeches out there." I was like, "Thank you." Right? What about yourself? I know you have definitely did a 180 on yourself. What do you think? What do you think has changed for you in terms of how how much you could grab people's attention?
So I remember I had a similar story to you. It was one time in eighth grade when we had a public speaking club, and now this traumatized me so much that I'm going to make a public speaking club at my high school just so that I can
Right,
like
right.
redo myself.
I get you.
But I was sitting in the back of the classroom and it was my turn to go. The guy that just went was like the most charismatic guy in the school. So everyone loved that dude. We had a note card and we had to say, like, what is one trip that you wish you could have gone on or something? So I don't know what he said, but everyone was on him, you know? And then my turn was to go. And I like shake up. I scripted my entire script from my note card and the guy everyone's looking at me and I'm like have it all in my head and then my mind just goes blank and I try to like I can't talk and then I try to like crack a joke or something because I didn't know what to say and it was the stupidest joke of all time like and then I just sat down like my time didn't even finish. I just sat down because it was so bad. So
100%.
that goes to show like what it was like beforehand and like you, I was like a video gamer kid, like no confidence. Someone I remember one time used to tell me that, bro, Cam, are you sick or something? And then I would be like, what? And then he'd be like, oh, it sounds like you're breathing through your nose or something, or you're talking through your nose. And I was like, bro, no. I think I still do that a little bit, but like I was such an unconfident speaker that I would talk like this. You know what I mean? Like talking through my nose. So over time, I started to get onto like improving myself, working out, just becoming a better version of myself by working on myself. And over time, I saw that my charisma really started to increase. But I always still had a problem with speaking, right? I always still had a problem with like grabbing people's attention, doing this, and I felt like it was one of my lowest things. I had a friend who his name was Benit, right? And he's the other president of Optimize at our school, and he was so good at this. And I always thought like, why is he so good, but I'm not? I realized he had been doing YouTube scripting, making YouTube videos for a very long time, and I wanted to get as good as him. So what I did was just made a channel and I just put on a video every single day. No script, no whatever. I would just talk. And if you watch my old videos on that, it's literally so bad. No stories, or like the stories that I told were terrible. I was like hunched over, no voice in me. I was stuttering so much. But over time, like it's kind of cool to see this because if you go through the channel, it's called Theory Space Rants. And you can see my old self, and then like 2 months later, every single video, I'm getting better to the point now where I have my own channel and like scripting and doing this stuff has really helped me. And what super much helped me, I think, was that not like the public speaking that I do now at Optimize Club or like anything that I do public speaking wise. I think the fact that I just practiced every single day with no script whatsoever, just talking about any topic really really helped me speak. And I saw this with my friend Jib, right? He was a speaker for our club and he was very like me. He was like quiet. He was quiet, dude. This was like one of the quiet guys that I've ever met. But then he wasn't that quiet. Like if he watched this, he would be like, bro, I'm not that quiet. He wasn't that quiet, but he was pretty quiet, right? He got to doing his own videos, and I could see with every single video, he actually got louder. Like the decibel level increased. And now he's like one of the best speakers at our club. And you asked me about attention span. The fact that a lot of people that are at a low level that can't catch attention simply can't catch attention because they're either not loud enough or they're not confident enough. Like once you get to that point, then you can start thinking about retention and storytelling and structure of how you tell things. But once you get to the point where you're loud enough and you can talk without stuttering about any topic, then that's when you should start caring because those two are like the 80-20 for grabbing attention. Okay. So that's when I really started to focus on my attention. Um,
Hundred
I
percent.
do want to say,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah, 100%. I think you just gotta start at a place where you have zero charisma, zero confidence, and you gotta work up to it, right? It's not like you're gonna get it that quick. I remember, similar to you, starting my own channel, but one of the first videos is cringe. It's cringe to see to look back at it. I still have it up on my channel. Um, please don't criticize me. It was no, bro. It was like the angle was like this too. I was like, I think the video was about there is no other perfect timing. That's why I'm making this channel, and it was I didn't edit it neither, so it was clearly badly scripted. Clearly doesn't have any much public speaking skills, but I think for my channel you can notice something too that a couple videos after and after and after it gets better and better and better to the point where I'm able to speak to the camera, maybe hold some attention, and become a well-rounded speaker. So 100%, I agree with you. Um, just a real curious question. I'm genuinely curious about this. Who do you think are the top three charismatic people that you admire?
that I admire.
Yes,
Let me think.
or it doesn't even need to be who you admire. Who do you think are one of the one of the top three charismatic people, man or woman, on this planet?
On this planet, well, recently, I think that one guy that in specific that I think everyone listening to this podcast should look up because he just threw the most crazy thing ever, and it makes me kind of rethink what charisma is. Alex Hormozy. He threw the biggest launch event ever, broke a world record, 500,000 people in a Zoom call for 90 minutes. And because he gave away $12,000 worth of stuff for free. And then he gave away like this crazy thing. He's literally every single person in that Zoom call is expected to make money just by going into that Zoom call. And he was charismatic because he gave all of that away for free. That kind of makes me rethink charisma as in like how how just getting people to like you is charismatic. But let me think. I think a second person. These are just kind of people that I listen to, I guess, and look up to. Probably Hamza, just because Hamza led a movement. He led a bunch of people. He has meetups a lot. I can see a lot of people who've grown because of him, and in that way, he is a leader. He is charismatic. He is someone that attracts people to him and keeps them there, which by definition is charismatic. And then I would say Yujuan, just because you ask good questions and you attract people really well. Then again, the people in our lives are not very charismatic because we're so young. So
I
you're
appreciate.
like the top person in my life that's charismatic. Now that's not to say that you're not charismatic. That means to say you're the top.
I'm so honored by that. Similar, same to you, man. Um, Definitely like out of all the people that I met, out of most people that I met, you're the most memorable of how confident you are and how charismatic you are.
Oh,
Uh,
thank
Seems
you,
like
bro.
we're riding each other, but we're I'm really not. Like you're definitely you're definitely up at that. You're definitely up there. I'll put you in. I'll put you in top three too. Similar to you, I'll probably say I'll probably say Hamza too. If I met him in person, he would be so much more charismatic. But because he's talking to the because he's talking on the camera, um, he might be less personal. So that would be crazy seeing Hamza in person. How personal and how charismatic he is as a man, right? There's also one more guy who I was trying to think of. I mean, I'll definitely put Andrew Huberman up there. He's he's really at first he doesn't seem like he has charisma, but I think he's one of the best examples of a charismatic man who knows to control his charisma or to have control of what he says and
Mm.
to be an influencer and a leader. I admire him. So definitely put him on top three.
That's interesting that you say Andrew Huberman. It doesn't seem to me like he's very extroverted. Would you say that you need to be extroverted to be charismatic?
I think you talked about this previously. Of I don't really want to spoil it, but about two types of charisma, right?
Okay.
You
Do you want
said,
me to talk about it?
yeah. Can you give a brief? Actually, just talk about that for a minute. About the two types of charisma that are in people.
Sure. Okay. So I realized recently that charisma doesn't mean extroversion in a sense, right? Because I was maybe like 4 years ago, I had this friend who always was the most charismatic guy ever, right? Me and him would both like this girl, and like she liked me, but this was like sixth grade, so it was like middle school dating. But like I liked her, but I had no charisma, bro. Like I don't know why she even liked me, but I think I was just like a little bit attractive, just genetically, which don't know what to say about that. But
So
like she was attracted to me, but we would hang out, and then they would hang out together, and then she literally lost attraction for me and started dating my best friend because of how charismatic he was. Like every single time we would hang out, everyone would be talking to him. He would be the guy. He would be the guy. Over the next 3 years, we stopped hanging out really. But just and so like hadn't talked to this dude in like 2 or 3 years, entire of quarantine, whatever. I just kind of reconnected with him last week on the bus home from school because like we just changed buses for the first day of school, and I realized that you don't need to be extroverted to be charismatic. And I mean, yeah, because there's two types of charisma. Because this dude on the bus, despite all the things that I had done over the past 2 years to become the most extroverted, popular kid in the school, like grow Optimize Club, become the best public speaker, become class president, I still got mogged by this dude in this small group conversation. He was the guy that was leading the conversation, telling the stories, everyone's listening to him, and I wasn't. And I made me realize that there's two types of charisma, and I'm not good at one of them. So the first type of charisma is the one that I'm good at, outer charisma. And that's like extroversion. That's the ability to attract strangers. And that's like content creators, that's like leaders in a way. That's just like icons, right? They have a good ability to attract strangers. And that's high leverage, but also it's not very good for just health psychologically, you know what I mean? Because we want close relationships. And this is what this guy's good at, right? As he was mogging me on the bus, I realized how charismatic he was because he was the guy that was the guy. He had inner charisma. And inner charisma is like inner small group charisma that you can have by just simply being able to attract people and keep them there. Like, not necessarily attract strangers, but keep not strangers in your life and keep them hooked. So these guys are probably very good at podcasts, very good at making content as well, but more personalized. And I think the best content creators and the best people that want to grow have both of these. So I'm gonna try and work on my inner charisma a little bit more, just because I feel like I don't have a very good skill to in a small group kind of talk and lead that group and just have a good time. I'm kind of just that guy that sits back and just listens. But I think that you can build both if you're like, let's say you're a guy that doesn't want to, let's say that you're just a normal guy, right? That wants to build his outer charisma a little bit because he's in kind of a loser, doesn't have any friends, needs to attract people into his life or maybe attract girls into his life. I think there's a couple things that I did that can help you, right? So, like I said, it's extroversion. Outer charisma is extroversion, but it's extroversion that gets people listening. So, it's being able to tell stories, it's being able to hype up people, it's being able to just look people in the eyes and do uncomfortable things. Like I said earlier, Jib, he literally leveled up the trait of extroversion by practicing his extroversion. Because you think that extroversion is like, oh, I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert. No, it's a trait. Excuse me. And all traits have little skills, and each skill can be leveled up. So, like the skill of looking someone in the eye when you're walking by, the skill of being able to go up and public speak. Right? Traits are just skills that we can level up. So my boy Jib, he leveled up his extroversion trait, and if you want to level up your extroversion trait, just level up those micro skills that make up extroversion. Right? The way that you can build inner charisma is I'm not the best at yet, but I think it would be to tell stories because that has been like when you look at the campfire, right? Tribal stories were what we're told. The guy that had the best inner charisma was the guy telling the stories, was the guy like around the campfire at night telling those ghost stories. That's the guy. But that's really all I know about inner charisma, and I don't implement it that much in like literal conversations. Like on videos and podcasts, I've gotten into the habit of telling stories, but in normal conversation, I suck at it. So, um,
That's interesting.
Juan, do you know anything that I could do or someone that wants to build inner charisma could do to build inner charisma?
I liked how you mentioned storytelling, like how you go back to the old days where the most charismatic leaders were also the people who were able to connect to the people and to grab their attention through the stories, right? So I feel like for me to definitely something I lack too. Um, I think it is a little more balanced though of my inner and outer. But for how I could improve my inner stories, me personally, I think would be talking to people more and how you said sharing stories and to become genuinely interested in other people and caring about other people. Right. I think that goes down to the main point of being inner charismatic. The outer is about what some people see at first or some people feel at first grabbing the strangers. Maybe it's like a physical thing that you do, like your eye contact or your trajectory. But the inner is something that other people could feel. If you deeply care about other people, they're gonna feel that, right? But the thing about nowadays is I noticed that people, including me, I used to focus too much on the outer charisma. I mean, it looks really cool, right? Like if you see actors in movies or in real life, a charismatic guy shuts down somebody, and that's cool. But I feel like being balanced, having both your outer charisma, your toughness, and your inner charisma, your softness inside, and how you care for other people. how you share your stories with other people, how you grab their attention is just as important.
That's so true. You said to practice talking to people a little bit more. My main problem with that, and maybe other people like me have this problem, is finding time to just like sit down and talk with talk with people. You know what I mean? I try to do it in the sauna, which is like my time. But those are old people, so it's not the same as
Yeah.
talking to people like in real life. The other main time would be lunchtime, right? But then again, lunchtime is a little bit
Yeah.
crazy.
It's not an
Is there
environment.
anything you think I could do?
I feel like yeah, lunchtime is not really an environment where we could have like deep conversations. Like in the middle of lunch in the cafeteria, you're not gonna be like, so what do you think? What do you think you're gonna do later in life, man? It's not something where you talk about deep topics. Um, Sauna, number one, but considering that they're out actually strangers, it's not too much relating to us and to our people. I think for us, Cam, is just exposing ourselves in environments. And if you really needed focus on your inner charisma, then just scheduling out time, just sacrificing time. Because I know we are productive people. I know you are, whoever's watching this is productive people. You care about your own schedule, you care about your own time, and you value your time. But if you want to work on this skill, I think we all should first sacrifice our time to focus on this. But we could also work on it bit by bit, like just daily conversations. Even though they're not deep, you could work on your storytelling. You could still work on grabbing their attention. You could still work on your charisma. That is what I believe. But is there anything else that you are currently doing, Cam, that's working on this inner charisma that you say? Or is it mainly the sauna and the gym? Like you said, the social aspects that you have.
Dude, I feel like the more school that I have, the less social I have, right? A lot of people, when I was when I asked a lot of people, I said, "What's your biggest problem with school?" A lot of people said balancing school and social life. For me, that's never been a problem because I never cared about my social life. Um, I just cared about having that outer charisma, right? Attracting people, getting people to optimize club, getting to become junior class president. I still mostly care about that, right? But I also realize that if you want to connect with a YouTube audience or you want to connect with just someone, right? Then you need that inner charisma. And especially if you truly want to connect with a person behind a camera, you need to have a way, you need to be able to connect with people on a deeper level like that. And I think that I'm just pretty much lacking in that sense. However, um, well, I was about to say that it hasn't affected me yet. But then again, like I don't have a million YouTube subscribers yet, which maybe could be because I'm lacking inner charisma talking to someone on a camera. So, like there's a big thing. It's like saying if this didn't happen, then oh, we wouldn't be dead or something. But like how would you ever know that it would have happened if it didn't happen? So, yeah, I think I just should work on my inner charisma a little bit more by dedicating more of my time to social time. Um, but yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is one psychology or the psychology behind charisma? We've been talking a lot
Oh,
about bro science, but what do you think is the real, true psychology behind it? What do you believe in?
okay. So I like this topic because I care more about this topic because it's instantly actionable, meaning right away you can become charismatic. So when you look at charisma, right? The people that we mentioned earlier, all three of those people that both me and Juwan mentioned, were people that we liked, right? I like Juwan. I like Alex Ramosi. I like Hamza. And when we think of the way that we get people to like us, it's because we usually give them something, right? When you think about all of evolution, why would I ever care about you? I care about surviving. I care about reproducing. Simple, simple truth. Okay? But I can care about you if you help me survive and you help me reproduce. Now I like you. And charisma is the ability to attract people, and I am attracted to you if I like you, right? Because it helps my survival, it helps my reproduction. Therefore, the psychology behind charisma is getting people to like you. Okay, and there's one way that I do this every single morning that I think literally made me the junior class president because it was a big part of it. Okay. Every single morning I would go into my chem class and I wouldn't just like, yo, what's good? Do you want, like, imagine I go into your chem class and I sit next to you. Oh, what's up, Hardy? You know what I mean? Like, some people don't even say hi to the person next to them. But let's just say, like, I just say hi. What's good? What's good, man? It's a simple exchange. Now you look at another person, and this is me. You go into class and you say, so good morning, Mr. Shea. Boom. Now everyone has heard that you're like a charismatic guy and the teacher likes you. Boom, instant charisma boost. You go to like your friends at the table. What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh, what's good, bro? Like, how was that test yesterday you did? You just get people to like you by you liking them, right? The more that I like you, the more that you like me. I think of it as like association. If I like you, you get dopamine, and then you see the dopamine and you see me, and you associate the two together. So now you get dopamine every single time you see me. So I've done that with every single person that I know, and now I hope that they like to see me. Is there anything that you do, Juwan, to trick
Talking
people into liking you?
talking about that. Let me give you an example. Babies, right? Babies,
Mm,
babies, babies know when they are loved. They can feel that the other person love you. I don't have like a younger sibling or anything. I know you do have a younger sibling, but I could tell. Well, I feel like we are all like babies. I feel like we could
hmm.
all feel and tell if other person likes us. So logically, and whatever you want to say, genetically, if they like us, we have a logic brain that instantly likes them back. So if we simply try to get ourselves to like them, we could earn what is that word? We could earn their trust, or we could influence and influence people, whatever.
Mm.
You could do that by liking them initially. And I feel like that's a wonderful thing that you could do.
Is there any other things that you can do to instantly garner liking from someone?
I feel like having a bright smile on your face, another thing that Dale Carnegie talks
Mm.
about, how to win friends and influence people. That's just the first thing that you could see, right? And it just goes down from, having a smile, having good talks, being a good character, and bop, 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 bop. It continues on. And I think it all just comes down to the point of you genuinely caring for the other people, genuinely liking the other people. Like the difference between a stranger and someone who you consider family is how much you care for them, how much you love them, and it all comes down to sacrificial love. How much sacrifices you want to make for the other person. Let's say your mom told you to go outside and get some groceries. If a stranger told you, you wouldn't do it. If a friend who is not that close to you, you wouldn't do it. But because it's someone you care for, you would do it. You would make other sacrifices, minor or major, and they feel that. And you could earn their
Wow.
trust, you could earn their love. They're gonna like you back. That's probably how Cam got the junior class president. Goat.
Yeah. Let's go. That's interesting. So You said sacrifices make people like you more, but also if you like you wouldn't sacrifice for a stranger. Do you think that if you were to randomly make a sacrifice for a stranger,
Yeah,
they would start to like you?
that's the crazy thing. They're gonna see that immediately, right? We all know what's happening around us, and that's just a powerful way to earn their trust too. Maybe you do that like, are you talking about like a stranger or a person that you already know?
I'm talking like you see a stranger on the street.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like they're gonna feel that immediately, and yeah, like you said, it's just gonna be a powerful way to get them to like you. I mean, if you see a person on the street and you do something for them, you do a favor for them, how would they feel? Put yourself in their
Probably
shoes.
pretty good.
Put yourself in their shoes, right? So, Cam,
Wow.
with all the things that I think we already talked about this topic, but all the things that we have learned. I mean, we did a 180-degree flip on ourselves. We build up our charisma and our confidence. How would you think? How does your life look like now in different types of aspects, and how your social aspects, your aspect in friends or family, your aspect in school, how do they all look like?
Let's say charisma has changed my life mentally, physically, and socially. Mentally, because it gives you a new identity. If people like you feel different, right? If people don't like you feel like a loser. So you can just think about that, right? When I started to become likable by, like we said, liking other people, people started to think of me differently, and I started to think of myself differently in a way that it gave me new confidence. And that confidence skyrocketed over time to a constant feedback loop of becoming more charismatic. Mentally, no, that was mentally. Physically, I I feel like I can do a lot more, right? If I can be confident enough because I'm charismatic enough, right? Confident and charismatic go well together, very much so. Then I feel like I can grow my body a lot more. I can go to the gym and I can do workouts that look stupid, but I know will help me in the long term, do some ATG workouts, whatever. It
Talking about
doesn't have so much effect physically though. I think it does affect your health though. And then
yeah, talking about something physical, Cam.
socially,
I just want to
okay.
say something real quick. Feel like doing something physical, like going on a run or consistently going to the gym, working out. I feel like these fall into the categories of doing. That's gonna boost
Hmm.
and improve and steadily improve your confidence and charisma. I think it all comes down to the point of doing, right? Even like you said, talking to the camera, talking to other people, cold approaching. These are all doing. Okay, you learn and do. You don't learn and learn and learn and learn. You have to learn to use it on something. How do you think about that, Cam?
You said doing, right? And a lot of doing becomes confidence because doing equals achievements, right? The more you do, the more you get. That's like a simple thing. Now, there's a lot of things you can do to get more with what you do, but the more you do, the more you get because you don't get anything if you don't do. And the more you get, the more achievements you have. And let's say that you're like a singer and you have 30 songs on your belt, all top Grammy awards, whatever. You would easily be confident in your ability as a singer. Let's say you've cold approached 30 random girls in public. You would easily be confident in your ability to cold approach random girls. And that becomes confidence and that becomes charisma. Because if you don't have confidence in yourself, you physically cannot be charismatic. That is just a simple like rule of thumb, okay?
Don't
How would you physically be charismatic if you can't be confident enough to talk to random people?
right.
You know what I mean?
You can't fake it. Don't fake it till you
Yeah,
make
you
it.
can't fake it.
Can't fake it.
I know you had something in. and they are about not faking it, Juwan.
I remember Hamza talking about this in one of the videos that he was mentioning. Said, "Don't fake it till you make it." And it was one of the confidence videos. If you fake your confidence, there's gonna be a point of time. Something obviously something bad is gonna happen, but it's such not a reliable method, right? Like what we were saying, if you constantly do these things that improve your confidence, improve your charisma, those are the factors that you want to be relying on for you to be charismatic. Not something you can't control, not something you could do it once in a while, not a miracle that you believe in, but it has to be real. It has to be within you. It has to be true. It has to be you. Ooh, that kind of rhyme right there. It has to be
That
true.
was
You. Ooh,
that went hard.
stuff. All right, sorry, I kind of disrupted there. You can continue with your you said mental, social, and physical.
Okay, I think I was on social, right?
Yeah, I think you were in the
Socially,
social aspects,
yeah.
like in
Okay,
school.
so socially, yeah, socially was the biggest change because of just the results that I've seen. I think that people, and especially higher value people, are more attracted to me because of the fact that I put myself out there and I am high value, right? I think, well, I consider myself high value. The fact is that you will attract who you are, and the more you can attract people, the more of those people you will attract. Even if you're a loser and you're charismatic, you're probably going to attract more losers. If you're a beast and you're charismatic, you're probably going to attract more beasts. So the fact is that if you work on yourself while working on your charisma, you're going to be able to attract a bunch of other people that are also working on themselves and at the same level as you. So over time, I've literally started to attract like better and better people to the fact now where like everyone that I talk to I actually respect for like from a work standpoint, from like this person is dedicated to what they do, and I actually like to talk to them. So socially, it's my social life has just completely changed, and I've just become popular. Like not like just a popular kid, but like people actually enjoy spending time with me. I feel like, which is like everyone wants that. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to have to be a genuinely fun guy to hang around with. And you've probably seen pretty similar things, Juwan.
Yeah,
I think you were talking about it a little bit earlier.
yeah, pretty similar to you. First thing that I noticed that I could obtain more in a newer network of people. Like you said, if I
Mm,
was a loser, but I was charismatic, I would attract losers. But now I consider myself high valued, that I meet a wider and essentially the better people, the highly valued people like you can. There's a lot of more opportunities I could get. That's the second one. Like I could, since I'm more confident, since I'm more charismatic, that definitely plays in roles of in terms of business or opportunities, right? I could cold call businesses and ask if they need any, internships, whatever. Before that, I would not even be able to go on calls and even speak. I could get into jobs. I just recently did not recently, but after this whole charismatic shit happened, well, the start of the summer, I got an interview. Pretty much nailed it.
wow.
I was able to do well on these stuffs because of charisma, because of my confidence. I'm pretty sure the other interviewer felt my confidence. I said that I was a good speaker. I'm a good social person. I'm personal. And another thing is relationship. I have not have a girlfriend yet, but I could definitely feel more confidence in my ability to do so. Right? I could talk to more girls. I could talk to these people. I could talk to more teachers. I could obtain more relationships. through this charisma because I gain more respect from other people through it. So I came to the conclusion charisma did a 180 on me, right? This confidence boost was not just like a short boost, it was a gradual one. And it took time. It definitely took time for you too, right, Cam? I mean, we've been doing this for a couple years, reading books,
Yeah,
implementing them, doing uncomfortable habits.
yeah, I would say so. You said that it took you very long to, not necessarily very long, but there's so many benefits you got from 180ing yourself in charisma. If you had to tell a person watching this right now, or just any person that is lacking charisma, or basically just your past self, what are some actionable steps that they can take after this podcast so that they can become as charismatic as you or I have?
I'll say the most important one. I think we talked, this is the majority of the podcast, we talked about this. Build social skills, right? Freaking older Joanne, get off your fucking phone and start building your social skills. Be social, touch some grass, talk to people, get off Discord, get off freaking Snap, get off Instagram. Go and read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's gonna feel like a crappy old book at first if you haven't read any books, but really applying those steps and becoming a social person, that is like the number one trait that business people can have is being a social person, being able to influence other people. What are some other things that you would say, Cam?
Dude, I thought it was so funny when you said, get off your fucking phone.
Needed
Yeah, dude.
it. Needed it.
Think
Yo,
about this, right?
Cam, tell your younger self something.
Okay.
Some
Um,
step.
Xbox friends aren't real friends.
True.
You're not gonna talk to Xbox friends for like I get that they're your only true friends, but that's because you don't talk to people in real life, man. Okay. Um, and like Snapchat friends, those guys, like you think they're popular, but look at them, bro. They don't have charisma. They just like hang around other people with Instagram followers. I don't even know how they get Instagram followers, bro. So like Instagram and Snapchat, all those things, like the DMs and stuff, anyone you talk to on Snapchat, they're like go off of Snapchat for a week and see who actually talks to you in real life. And those are the people you should be hanging out with, bro. It is amazing what happens when you get off of social media and the popular kids become losers. They're on their phone all day. I don't even know what they do. It's just it's like kind of embarrassing, bro. Like why are they doing that? And then you are actually at the table like two or three down and you're having a real conversation with your friends and it makes the other people look stupid. You wonder why you even wanted to do that in the first place. So like Juwan said, get off your damn phone and go be social, bro. And I know you don't have any social skills right now. Read the book, like he said. Just literally practice, right? You have to build your confidence by building achievements. And if you do not have any achievements, then you literally cannot be confident. Just go build some achievements in yourself. Go take cold showers. Go start reading books. Go start doing something that will literally help you for the rest of time and you will notice a big change. I think a big book that you could read is The Magic of Thinking Big because it really it gives you a lot of ways to become more charismatic too. So read those two books. Get off your damn phone, bro.
What was the book about?
The Magic of Thinking Big, there was a lot of things in there like just having a positive mindset, right? Having a mindset that you can do things and ways to implement that. One of the things was literally just like eye gazing. I think we mentioned it just literally like when you're walking by people on the way to class, when you're passing people in the hallway, look people in the eyes, like stare them in the eyes and like see if they can make eye contact with you. And then if they do, hold eye contact longer than them and you will realize that nobody holds eye contact for more than like 2 or 3 seconds. And if they do hold eye contact and they're like, yo, what's up, bro? Then just say, oh, I thought you were my friend or something. Just it's like an easy way, and it'll grow your confidence throughout time. You'll become the easiest, the best dude ever.
Yeah,
So just like actually start trying.
literally the eye contact is actionable step that you could literally practice in minutes. That you can literally do it right now. Other things is gonna take time. Making hard achievements, building your confidence, that's gonna take time, right? We understand that. But simple habits like these, we could build them quick. But we could do it deliberately. Like Cam said, use these actionable steps to improve your life and believe that they will improve your life. Believe that they will do a 180 on you. Anything else to say, Cam?
I think that if you just listen to this podcast, you're well on your way to becoming a charismatic individual.
I think you
That's
should
all
just
I gotta
put
say.
your phone and then just listen to this podcast for 60 minutes, bro. ROI is crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. We're gonna definitely have more podcasts later on every 2 weeks. Stay tuned in. Peace out.
Remember to be optimal.
Stay optimal. All right, peace.